Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and for today I want to give you guys my first take on the lovely Scarlet Witch rocking this here WandaVision uniform. And before we dive into it, man, let's just take a moment to appreciate the idle animation for Scarlet, where she's basically just building up her chaos magic and just flexing on everybody. So all hail the queen. With that being said, man, let's get into it. I know some of you guys are gonna get tired of seeing that build up, and I wish there was a way for you to turn it off if you couldn't like deal with the whole flashiness of it all the time. I get it, but it is what it is. Okay, Scarlet Witch is now basically gonna flex on you every like 5 seconds or so. So as you can see right here, I already have the uniform at Mythic. I love Scarlet Witch, so I'm pretty sure none of you guys are going to be too surprised by that. However, is it worth having? And if it is it worth upgrading if you already had a Mythic uniform for her? Because most of you guys either have this one or this one at Mythic. And if you know anything about Scarlet and her previous uniforms, you know these two right here didn't really change too much, right? This one, however, I do think it is a very big change for the character. Not only is she becoming a universal type now, which means she does more damage to combat, blast, and speed types, whereas before, as you can see right here, she was basically only doing extra damage to combat types. So her usefulness is gonna go up in this uniform for sure, especially if you care about ABX. I definitely see her like stomping out Carol. It's just done. Okay, it's over for Captain Marvel. That's it. Scarlet Witch is moving in as the ABX meta, if you care about that. But if you don't, there's something here for everybody. Okay, because a lot of her changes are accessible. They're there for you on the uniform without going to tier 3. So if you didn't have the blast books and you never tier 3 her before, just best believe that you can still get a lot of value out this uniform without getting to tier 3 with her, because your tier 3 skill, unfortunately, is not being changed. Okay, still throwing rocks. It is what it is, right? And there's no buffs here that wasn't available on the previous uniforms. The tier 2 passive is exactly the same. The changes, however, are in her core skills, her 1 through 5, and her new passive. So let's talk about it. The 1 skill, they added paralysis, as if she didn't have enough control over world bosses already in World Boss Ultimate, where she could basically just mind control them until the end of time. They gave her paralysis, which is really good, right? So if you have her at tier 2, go ahead and just control Ebony until he dies. The 2 skill, very unique. They put it on her 2 skill, and it is damage accumulation. Now, I see a lot of people immediately complaining about this when they saw the patch notes, and for good reason. 0.4 looks kind of low, but it seems like it's not going to affect her too much, and I'm just happy it's here, right? It seems like maybe this was a last minute thing that they decided to do, and they just threw on like a 0.4. But maybe she was just so OP with it being higher than 0.4. So they're like, you know what? Let's just scale it back and give her buffs elsewhere. And they did, right? So 0.4 doesn't look like it's hurting her too much. However, I would have liked it if it was like a 10-second duration, so you could basically keep it up all the time. It is what it is though. 3rd skill now has her heal and her reflect. They were basically there before, but you just had to use her passive to get the heal and the reflect. Now they just basically made it so that when you use the 3rd, you get the heal and you get the reflect, and the reflect goes up to 150% of her attack. By the way, her attack is very high, so yeah. Anyways, moving on. We have the 4th skill, which is basically staying the same, and then we have the 5th skill. The 5th skill is actually pretty good. It is her highest damaging skill now, along with her tier 3. Here, the 5th skill is nuts. Plus, it has 7 seconds of invincibility, which was not there before. So, coupled with the accumulation and the uniform bonus, giving her, as you can see right here, 30% more mind damage. She's actually really strong now. And I think now more than ever, Judgment might actually be the best CTP for her, especially if you have over 10% pierce. It seems as though that for elemental characters, if you have less than 10% pierce on your cards, Rage is better. But once you get above 10%, it seems as though Rage unless it's reforged, which it cannot be right now, is not better than Judgment. That's what I'm seeing so far. So I'm gonna do some testing once we can swap CTPs at a discount later this month, right? And see how far behind, or if Judgment can still beat out Rage with 0 Pierce. That's what I'm gonna try out later, okay? Anyways, I know some of you guys are wondering, what are the uniform options? They're actually not that bad, believe it or not. You think they would want to get the most out of you because people love Scarlet Witch and they know people will just buy uniforms and get them to Mythic because it's Scarlet, but it's not that bad. So Lady Deadpool, kind of bad because you want the holiday version, but on the plus side, if you get this one to Mythic, the holiday one will be at Mythic as well when you do get it, if you didn't already have it. Next one is Ghost Rider, one of the best uniforms in the game, right? Next up is Taskmaster, again, another really good uniform. Do you have to get it to Mythic? No, because Taskmaster is just a support and you don't need to Mythic it to get his support bonus, but you're going to have this uniform anyway, so might as well level it up. Next up, we have Dormammu, again, another good uniform, one of the best in the game. And then lastly, we have Storm, her best uniform. Again, I wouldn't say this one is like the greatest uniform, but it's the best one for Storm. Okay, so overall, the uniform options are not that bad. Salute to Netmarble for not like basically crushing all our dreams and basically pumping a whole bunch of characters in here, like Emma Frost, like on her last uniform where you had to freaking get Emma Frost to Mythic to get that last option. Oh man, so yeah, really love Scarlet in this new uniform and I like the options as well. Let's talk about her skill rotation because it is being changed. Okay, for the first time in a long time, Scarlet's rotation is being changed. So this is the rotation that I've been trying out with her and I think it's one of the best, if not the best. So this is her new 2 skill. As you can see, she basically puts up the accumulation and then she just keeps charging and then she basically just fires off some hits. However, the accumulation pops up right away. Like if you look at when I click and when the accumulation pops up, you don't need to let the entire skill play out. The one skill you would only really use if you're just trying to build up your tier 3 or if you're playing War Boss Ultimate and you want to get the paralysis. But even the one skill you can cancel. Like for example, I could press the one skill then press the 2 and you'll notice, hold on, I canceled a little bit too early. Right there, you'll see that those little red bubbles come out and still paralyze them, right? You can even cancel that. But for me, what I've basically been doing with her is just 2 cancel, 4 cancel, 5. And once you see Wanda touch Vision's chest, right here is where you could cancel the skill. Now you can see it's still going. Wanda is still doing a lot of hits. However, those hits don't hit nearly as hard as the first part of this skill where Vision and Wanda are attacking together. And even right here, right there, once Vision disappears, for me, that's where I cancel the skill if I'm in World Boss Ultimate or World Boss Legend. Again, it's completely up to you if you want to let this skill play out completely just to get the extra hits, but I just find that it's not worth it to me. So right here, I would usually just cancel into the 3rd skill and just use this refined laser beam to like spray down my enemies. And it seems a little bit longer than it was before. I don't know about you guys. Another thing that I know some of you guys hate is the long cooldown on Wanda's 5th skill, and I can't blame you, but the 5th skill's damage is actually pretty good and it makes it so that her tier 3 skill charges a little bit faster now, so that's pretty good. Right now, for the rotation with her tier 3, I usually go something like this. I go 2 cancel, 4 cancel, tier 3, and then once the 2 rocks come up out the ground, if my rage proc is like 2 seconds or less, I will cancel out into the 3rd skill. However, let's say I do 2 cancel, 4 cancel. Okay, let me get the tier 3 ready again, just for example. Okay. So let's say my tier 3 is ready, which is going to be after this rotation, right? I go 2 cancel, 4 cancel, tier 3, and then once the 2 rocks come up out the ground, if for some reason my rage proc doesn't activate, I will just use the 5th skill, and then for sure those 2 rocks and the 5th skill hitting at the same time will trigger the proc. But for me, if the rage proc is almost done by the time Wanda brings up those 2 rocks out of the ground, I don't even bother using the 5th skill in that rotation because more than half of the skill is going to be off the proc, right? Again, it's completely up to you what you want to do, but for me, without the tier 3, like on the first rotation, I just go something like 2 cancel, 4 cancel, 5, let it play out, let it play out. Once I see Wanda touch vision in the chest there, I just cancel into the third skill, basically light these people up, and then I just let the skill end, and then I just rinse and repeat. For some people, maybe they'll want to get the tier 3 a little bit faster, so what they could do is like 2 cancel, 4 cancel, 3 cancel, 5, and then make it so that the following rotation they can get the tier 3 off a little bit faster, but it's completely up to you guys, okay? Anyways, what we're gonna do for this one, it's gonna be a lengthier video. Apologies if you guys ate that, but I want to give you guys a comparison between these two uniforms, because I know a lot of you guys have ideally this one at Mythic, and you're probably thinking, man, do I really want to get this one? And if I get it and get it to Mythic, am I gonna be wasting resources? So we're gonna jump in, same build, and then see what happens. We're gonna do like a speed test, just like 1 minute or so, because I don't want to make the video like 30 minutes long. Now, just because this is a damage comparison, what I want to do here is actually use ignore dodge strikers, because we know that Null has really high dodge, and I don't want any of Wanda's attack to miss, right? So we have 4 ignore dodge strikers, which are going to give us 80% ignore dodge, and then we have Valkyrie, because she's going to give us an extra 30%, so we're going to have 110% ignore dodge all the time. And then we trigger Wanda's tier 3, we'll still have 100%, so no matter what, none of her attacks should miss, okay? All right, let's dodge this first attack. Let's do 2, 4, 5. As you can see, the 5 does a lot of damage. Okay, so we're gonna do 2, 4, tier 3. We'll do the 5 there. We'll do 2, 4, 3. Oh yeah, baby girl she's going crazy right now. Oh yeah. Ooh, boys, 415. So that's actually really good. Wow, and I think we could even do that faster. One thing you're gonna notice with this uniform is that the tier 3 charge is much slower. Okay, let's rush him. By the way, Wanda's movement speed is not very good, especially if you don't have any movement speed on your cards. So you can see how many like rotations we have to go through before we get our first tier 3 skill versus the other uniform, whereas basically, ooh, that's nice, that was nice damage there. Basically every other rotation with the new uniform, you can get your tier 3 skill off. So let's do the 4, do the 5, tier 3. Use the third skill. This one's killing it. It's close. Wow. Okay, so let's actually go try her out against Mephisto and see what the damage looks like over there. Showtime at the Apollo, boys. Let's see what my baby can do. Let's drop the tier 3. Alright, let's pop the 2, the 4. Alright, transition 25 seconds. Keep that in mind. So we'll do 2, 4, tier 3. Alright, we'll just rock out. Lasers do a pretty that laser does pretty good damage, I'm telling you. I don't know if I would cancel it. Some would cancel it, but I would not. And it's really good because Wanda's base movement speed is not very good. I'll tell you one thing, when I do craft my cards, guys, it will not be for Pierce, it will be for movement speed. I will tell you that for free. I'll tell you that for free. Movement speed is the one thing that gets me killed more than anything else. Alright, so I'm glad that happened right after he came out of that. So we'll do Doom, Doom, Doom. Slide through him. Alright, so 323. I'll tell you that for free. This is not my fastest run. I've done this as fast as 329, 330. So like this is like 7 seconds slower, 7 or 8 seconds slower than my fastest time getting him to this phase. Okay, just keep that in mind. Let's jump back in with the older uniform. All right, boys, round 2. Let's see if this uniform holds up. Let's see if this uniform holds up. Let's get it. We'll do 5 insta cancel into 4, into 2, into 3. Back up off them. Do a little slide. You know, that Tusi slide. All that. Alright, so tier 3 is ready. We hit that 5th skill, that 4th skill. Tier 3. Get the rocks up. And we pop into the 3rd. And we can clearly see that we are already slower than the other one. So just doing this phase alone will eat up like 10 seconds. Now I use Val for the running always because Scarlet Witch, unfortunately, her movement speed is atrocious. Yep. So let's go boom, boom. I really don't want to have to use another tier 3. Okay, good. Thankfully I didn't have to. So as soon as the 5th is ready, we'll use that to get the attack buff. And we use the tier 3. Okay, for whatever reason the proc is on vacation. Okay, there we go. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. That's that chaos magic at work. Let's go. Okay, I need that 3rd skill to come off cooldown right now. Woof. Bros. What did we just do? What did we just do right there? Okay. Nah, she's too slow. We gotta switch. I'll tell you what, that burst damage right there brought it back within sniping range. But we're ultimately gonna end up. Come on, man. I'm telling you. I'll tell you that for free, man. Like my what you call it? My card's not being crafted. The movement speed holds me back. So I got a question for you guys. Oof. Has the time come for your boy to craft up some cards? If we get this video to 600 likes, I'll craft a card tomorrow. I'll do it live for you guys. I'll even let you guys choose which of the cards that I have that I can craft. I was gonna wait a little bit more, like I was gonna wait like another 10 days before I even touch it, because I'm waiting for a specific card to come around and it's just not here yet. You know, I've been talking with my homie John, and yeah, I was gonna wait, but like honestly, the movement speed is killing me. Like I never thought I would see the day. So I'm like a whole minute slower. To be honest, I think we could have been maybe like 20 seconds or so faster. Let me cop that re-energy. Re-energy. Anyways, let's re-up on energy. But like on the real, this new uniform for Scarlet Witch, it's a big upgrade in a lot of different ways. For one, she no longer has any weaknesses because she's universal. So if nothing else, that is a big W, right? She also will take over ABX for however long they decide to let her reign, because she has paralysis, burn, and all them things, right? So she's gonna cover like all of ABX for the next couple months. Then you also have to look forward to the fact that when we get future legends, as long as they're not universal types, she's gonna do extra damage to them, right? Plus she has accumulation now, right? And more crowd control for whatever that's worth. I don't see very much PvP value here on this uniform. I just don't see it, but maybe you could do some stuff with her. I might try it out. Anyways, guys, leave me your thoughts in the comments. How are you feeling about this Scarlet Witch uniform compared to the old one? I do think it's an upgrade. I'm not gonna lie though, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be stuck on this whole 0.4% accumulation thing, because if you look at for example, Pietro, right, on his accumulation is 1%. If like pretty much everybody gets like 1%, like Human Torch got like what, 1.2%, right? Odin has like 1%. Like everybody got, where's Odin? Odin's on his third skill, right? Everybody got 1%. So why did Scarlet Witch get like 0.4%? It doesn't make sense. She's a tier 2 native with double cost, just like Silver Surfer, just like Thanos. Granted, Thanos doesn't have accumulation, right? But still, it just doesn't make sense. Either way, I don't think it's holding her back too much. I do see this uniform as an upgrade. Maybe they're doing this. You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. Maybe I'm reaching, right? But maybe they gave her 0.4% here because they already plan to milk us again. I'm sorry, but people wanted this uniform, right? But Multiverse of Madness is coming, and we know for sure that Scarlet Witch is gonna be a part of that movie with Doctor Strange. And come on, you think they're gonna miss out on the opportunity to sell another uniform for Scarlet Witch when that movie drops? Absolutely not. So if they gave us like 1% here, what would they do for the next uniform? 1.2, 1.5? How high can you go? It's gonna be too much, right? So I feel like they started off with like 0.4 here, so that with the next uniform, all they have to do is just like go in the code, put like 0.9 here or like 1% here, and then it's gonna be a big jump in terms of damage output, right? Anyways, those are my thoughts on Scarlet Witch in this new uniform. It is a very good upgrade compared to the last one. How you play the character is changing, the typing of the character is changing, so there's a lot of value here. However, I think there is many more uniforms in her future. She's a fan favorite, so just buyer beware. That's all I'm saying. Is it a good upgrade? Yes. Do you need it? Completely up to your roster and where you are right now, and if you love the character or not. Hit me in the comments, share your thoughts with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. By the way, these are my cards. They're not crafted. So what I was talking to you guys about not having any movement speed or not having enough movement speed, you're going to find that when you play Scarlet Witch against Mephisto, she moves extremely slow, and sometimes that will get you killed, right? Like if you look at her movement speed when she's like floating around like this, and then you just use her third skill and look at how much faster she moves. Well, in here it doesn't seem like she's moving that much faster, but when you are fighting, I noticed that the attacks, the V-pad attack, the third skill, makes her move significantly faster than when you're just floating around. Anyways, I'm gone. That tip there might save your life though, because I know it saves mine. Peace.